Hello, everyone. I'm really happy you're here today. If you enjoy easy English, simple stories, and gentle life lessons, I hope you'll join our English book family by subscribing. Now, let's begin. Can I ask you a question? Have you ever listened to someone speak English and thought, I wish I could speak like that? Maybe you watched a video. Maybe you listened to a friend. Maybe you heard someone speaking English so easily. Then you looked at yourself, and you felt small. Maybe you thought, I'm too slow. I'm too old. I'm not good enough. Many people stop learning because of these thoughts. Not because English is too hard, but because they keep looking at someone else's road. Can we think about that for a moment? When children learn to walk, they do not look around and ask, who is walking faster? They are happy because they took one more step. When children learn to speak, they do not ask, who knows more words than I do? They are happy because they learned one new word. Children do not spend much time comparing. They spend their time growing. Maybe that is why they learn so much. Maybe they are looking in a different direction, not at other people, but at today, at this moment, at one small step. Maybe that is where learning begins. Not when you become the best, but when you stop comparing yourself and start enjoying your own journey. Can we think about one more little moment? Imagine two children drawing pictures. One child uses blue. The other child uses green. Both children smile. Neither one says, my picture should look like yours. They simply enjoy drawing. Can I ask you something? When did we stop thinking like that? When did we begin looking at other people first? Maybe it happened little by little. One day we looked at someone's test. Another day we looked at someone's job. Then one day we looked at someone's English. Slowly, comparing became a habit. And habits can become very strong. Maybe stronger than we know. Sometimes we listen to someone speak English. We do not hear their story. We only hear their voice. We do not know how many years they studied. We do not know how many mistakes they made. We do not know how many times they wanted to give up. We only see today. We do not see yesterday. Children do not think this way. They do not ask, why is she better than me? They ask, what can I learn today? Those are very different questions. One question makes your heart feel heavy. The other makes your heart feel open. Maybe we cannot stop seeing other people, but we can stop measuring our life by theirs. Your story is not their story. Your road is not their road. Your English is not their English. You have your own page. You have your own lesson. You have your own tomorrow. And maybe that is enough. But if that is enough, why do we compare ourselves so often? Can we think about one more little picture? Imagine a garden. There are many flowers. Some flowers open early. Some flowers open later. Some are red. Some are yellow. Some are small. Some are big. Can I ask you something? Have you ever seen one flower become sad? Because another flower opened first? No. Each flower opens when it is ready. Maybe people are like that too. Some people learn English very quickly. Some people need more time. Neither one is wrong. They are simply growing at a different pace. Sometimes we forget this. We see someone speaking beautiful English. Then we think, I should be there too. But maybe today is not your time to bloom. Maybe today is your time to grow. Those are not the same thing. Growing happens before blooming. Children do not worry because today looks small. They know tomorrow is coming. They know another day will help them. Maybe we can believe that too. Today may not be your best day, but today can still be a good day. You learned one new word. You understood one new sentence. You listened to one more story. Those things matter. Do not ask, why am I not like someone else? Ask, what can I do today? That question is much kinder, and kind questions help us keep learning. Can we think about one more little moment? Imagine a child learning to ride a bicycle. The child rides a little. Then the child stops. Then the child tries again. Another child rides past very fast. But the first child keeps looking ahead. Not at the other child, just at the road. Can I ask you something? What would happen if the child kept looking at the faster bicycle? Maybe the child would miss the road. Maybe the child would lose balance. Maybe the child would fall. Learning English can feel the same. Sometimes we spend so much time looking at other people that we forget to look at our own road. We ask, why is she better? Why is he faster? But maybe those questions cannot help us. Maybe a better question is, what is my next step? That is the question children ask, not with words, but with the way they live. One more step, one more try, one more day. They do not need to be the fastest. They only want to move forward. Maybe we can learn from them. Do not look left. Do not look right. Look at your own road. Take your next step. It may be a small step, but it is your step, and your step is enough for today. Can we think about one more little picture? Imagine two children building a small tower with blocks. One child finishes first. The other child is still building. The first child smiles. The second child smiles too. Neither child is worried. They are both happy. Can I ask you something? Who is doing better? Maybe both of them. One child finished first. The other child is still learning. Both are growing. Maybe English is like that too. Some people learn very fast. Some people learn more slowly. That does not make one person better than the other. It only means they are taking different steps. Sometimes we forget this. We look at someone who speaks beautiful English. Then we look at ourselves. We feel behind. But behind whom? Who decided where you should be today? Maybe no one. Maybe we ask ourselves that question. Children do not carry a map like that. They do not say, I should be over there. They enjoy where they are. Then they take one more step. Maybe that is enough for today. You do not have to finish today. You do not have to know every word. You only have to keep building. One word, one sentence, one story. Little by little, your tower becomes taller. Not because you hurried, because you kept building. Can we think about one more little moment? Imagine two children doing puzzles. One child has a picture of a bird. The other child has a picture of a boat. The puzzles are different. The children are different. Neither child says, I want your puzzle. Each child enjoys the picture in front of them. Can I ask you something? Would it make sense to compare the two puzzles? No, they were never the same. Maybe people are like that too. Your life is different. Your story is different. Your English journey is different. So why do we compare? Maybe because we forget something very important. We all start from different places. Some people begin learning English when they are 6. Some begin when they are 16. Some begin when they are 60. Every beginning is different. Every journey is different. Children do not think about this. They only enjoy today's puzzle. One piece, then another. They smile when one piece fits. They do not worry about the whole picture. Maybe we can learn from them. Do not worry about the whole journey today. Just find your next piece. Maybe your next piece is one new word. Maybe it is one new sentence. Maybe it is one more story. That is enough. The whole picture can wait. Today, just enjoy the next piece. Because something beautiful happens when we stop looking at other people's journey. Can we think about one more little picture? Imagine two children sitting by two different windows. One child sees a mountain. The other child sees the sea. Both children smile. Neither child says, "I want your window." They enjoy what they can see. Can I ask you something? What happens when we stop looking through our own window and only look through someone else's? Maybe we miss the beauty in front of us. Maybe comparing does the same thing. We spend so much time looking at someone else's English that we forget our own progress. Maybe last month, one story felt difficult. Today, it feels easier. Maybe last year, one sentence felt impossible. Today, you understand it. Those are beautiful changes. Do not miss them. Children notice small changes. They smile when they read one more word. They smile when they understand one more page. They are happy because they can do something they could not do before. Maybe we can be happy like that too. Do not ask, "What can they do?" Ask, "What can I do today?" That question brings peace. It helps you see your own journey. And your own journey is worth seeing. Can we think about one more little picture? Imagine two rivers. One river is wide. The other river is small. Both rivers keep moving. Neither river stops and says, "I wish I were like the other river." Each one follows its own way. Can I ask you something? What is the job of a river? Is it to become another river? No. Its job is simply to keep flowing. Maybe our job is the same. Not to become someone else. Not to have someone else's English. Not to have someone else's voice. Our job is to keep learning, one day at a time. Sometimes we think, if I were like that person, I would be happy. But maybe happiness is not waiting there. Maybe happiness is here, in today's lesson, in today's story, in today's little step. Children know how to enjoy today. They laugh today. They learn today. They smile today. They do not wait until they become perfect. Maybe we do not have to wait either. Maybe today is already a good day. Not because you know everything, because you learned something. Maybe it was only one word. Maybe it was only one sentence. That is enough. Keep flowing. Keep learning. Keep smiling. Your journey does not need to look like anyone else's. It only needs to be yours. Can we think about one more little moment? Imagine a child walking up some stairs. One step, then another. The child does not jump to the top. The child does not look at the last step. The child only looks at the next one. Can I ask you something? What would happen if the child only looked at the top? Maybe the stairs would feel too high. Maybe the child would feel afraid. Maybe the child would stop. Learning English can feel the same. Sometimes we only think about speaking like a native speaker. Sometimes we only think about understanding every word. The dream is beautiful, but maybe it is too far away for today. Children do not worry about the last step. They enjoy the next step. Maybe we can do that too. Do not ask, "When will I speak perfect English?" Ask, "What can I learn today?" One new word, one short sentence, one new idea. That is enough. Every step matters, even the smallest one. Sometimes the smallest step is the hardest one, but it is still a step. And every step takes you somewhere new. One day you will reach the top, not because you hurried, not because you compared yourself with others, because you kept taking the next step, again, and again, and again. Can we think about one more little moment? Imagine a child standing by a wall. Someone marks the child's height with a pencil. The child smiles. The next day, the child looks again. Nothing seems different. 1 week later, the child looks again. Still, it is hard to see. 1 month later, the mark is higher. Can I ask you something? Did the child grow only on that last day? No. The child grew a little every day. The change was quiet. Maybe your English is growing like that. Today, you may not hear the difference. Today, you may not see the difference. But that does not mean nothing is happening. Some changes are too small to see today, but they become easy to see with time. Children do not stand by the wall every hour. They do not ask, "Am I taller now?" They simply live. They play. They learn. They laugh. Then one day everyone can see how much they have grown. Maybe we can learn from that. You do not have to test yourself every day. You do not have to compare yourself every day. You do not have to ask, "Am I as good as someone else?" Maybe there is a better question. Am I a little better than yesterday? If the answer is yes, keep going. If the answer is, "I'm not sure," keep going. If the answer is no, keep going. Because tomorrow is another chance to grow, just like today was, and just like yesterday was. Can I share one more thought with you? Maybe you have been looking at the wrong person. Maybe you have been looking at everyone else, but not at yourself. Can I ask you something? Do you remember the first English word you learned? Maybe you do. Maybe you do not. But you learned it. Then you learned another, and another. Little by little, your English began to grow. You may not remember every step, but every step mattered. Think about the stories you can understand today. There was a time when they felt difficult. Think about the words you know today. There was a time when they were new. You have already come a long way. Maybe not as far as you want, but much farther than where you started. That is something to be thankful for. Sometimes we forget to celebrate our own journey. We only celebrate the finish line. Children are different. They smile after one small step. They smile after one new word. They smile because learning feels good. Maybe we can smile a little more too. Not because we are finished, because we are growing. You do not have to become someone else. You only have to become a little better than yesterday. That is a beautiful journey, and it is your journey. No one else can walk it for you. No one else needs to, because this story belongs to you. Can I ask you one more question? When do you feel happiest? Is it when someone says, "You are the best"? Or is it when you do something that you could not do before? Think about your English. Maybe last year you could not understand a short story. Today you can. Maybe last month one sentence felt very difficult. Today it feels much easier. Those moments matter. They are easy to forget, but they matter. Sometimes we wait for a big success. We think, "Then I will be happy." But life is full of small successes. One new word, one new sentence, one story you understand, one moment when English feels a little easier. Those moments are worth celebrating. Can I tell you something? You do not need someone else's life to enjoy your own. You do not need someone else's English to love your own journey. Your progress is real, even if it feels small, even if no one else can see it. You can see it, and that is enough. So today, be proud of one small thing. Maybe you remembered one word. Maybe you understood one sentence. Maybe you simply came back and listened again. That is something beautiful. Because every time you come back, you become a little stronger. Not someone else, just a stronger version of yourself. Can we think about one more little moment? Imagine a child drawing a picture. The child smiles. The colors are bright. The picture is full of happy little things. Then another picture is placed beside it. The child looks at the other picture. The smile becomes smaller. Can I ask you something? Did the first picture become worse? No, it stayed the same. Only the child's thoughts changed. Maybe that happens to us too. Sometimes we enjoy our English. We finish a story. We learn a new word. We feel happy. Then we hear someone speaking perfect English. Suddenly, our own English does not feel good enough. But what really changed? Not your English, only your thoughts. That is why comparing can be so dangerous. It changes the way we see good things. A good day no longer feels good. A small success no longer feels special. A new word no longer feels exciting. But those things are still beautiful. Do not let comparing take them away. Keep your smile. Keep your joy. Keep your curiosity. Those things will help you learn much more than comparing ever will. When you enjoy learning, you come back tomorrow. When you keep comparing, you often want to stop. So protect your joy. It is one of the best teachers you will ever have. Can we think about one more little moment? Imagine a child watching a bird. The bird flies across the sky. The child smiles. Then another bird flies by. The child smiles again. The child does not ask, "Which bird is better?" The child is simply happy to watch them. Can I ask you something? When did we stop enjoying simple things? When did we begin giving everything a score? Better, worse, faster, slower. Maybe life was never meant to feel that way. Maybe learning was never meant to feel that way. Every person has a different voice. Every person has a different story. Every person has a different pace. That is what makes people interesting. Imagine if every bird flew the same way. Imagine if every flower looked the same. Imagine if every story sounded the same. The world would become a very quiet place. Maybe your English does not need to sound like everyone else's. Maybe it only needs to sound like you. Your voice has value. Your story has value. Your journey has value. Never forget that. The world does not need another copy. It needs the person you are becoming. So speak with your own voice. Learn at your own pace. Walk your own road. And enjoy the beautiful journey that belongs only to you. Can I ask you one more question? Have you ever taken a quiet walk? Not to get somewhere, just to enjoy the walk. You hear the birds. You feel the wind. You see the trees. You are not in a hurry. You simply keep walking. Can I ask you something? What happens when you stop looking at the finish line? Maybe you begin to enjoy the road. Maybe you notice things you never saw before. Maybe you smile a little more. Learning English can feel like that. Sometimes we are so busy thinking about tomorrow that we forget to enjoy today. We think, When my English is better, I will be happy. But maybe happiness is already here. Maybe it is in this story. Maybe it is in this one sentence. Maybe it is in this one moment. Children understand this very well. They do not wait until everything is perfect. They laugh today. They learn today. They enjoy today. Maybe that is one of the greatest lessons they can teach us. Enjoy today's lesson. Enjoy today's story. Enjoy today's small step. Tomorrow will come. Next week will come. Next year will come. There is no need to hurry. Keep walking. Keep learning. Keep smiling. One quiet day after another. That is how beautiful journeys are made. Can I share one more thought with you? Maybe your journey was never meant to look like someone else's. Maybe that is why it is your journey. Can I ask you something? What if you stopped trying to become another person? What if you simply became more like yourself? Maybe learning would feel lighter. Maybe your heart would feel calmer. Maybe you would smile more often. Think about all the days you came back. Think about all the stories you listened to. Think about all the words you learned. Those days were not ordinary. They were building something inside you. Little by little, day by day, story by story. You may not notice every change. That is okay. Some of the best changes are very quiet. A little more courage. A little more patience. A little more hope. Those things grow slowly. Just like English. Sometimes we think we are only learning words. But maybe we are learning something more. Maybe we are learning to be patient. Maybe we are learning to keep going. Maybe we are learning to believe in ourselves again. That is a beautiful lesson. And it is a lesson that stays with us long after today's story is over. So be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself and trust your own journey. It has been leading you forward all along. Before we finish today's story, can I ask you one last question? When you look into a mirror, who do you see? Do you see someone who is not good enough? Do you see someone who is too slow? Do you see someone who started too late? Or do you see someone who keeps trying? Who keeps learning? Who keeps coming back? Maybe that is the person you should see. Not a perfect person. Not the best person. Just a person who did not give up. Sometimes we are so busy looking at other people that we forget to see ourselves. Not with hard eyes, but with kind eyes. Children do this naturally. When they make a mistake, they try again. When they fall down, they stand up again. They do not stop believing in themselves. Maybe we can learn that too. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not walking the wrong road. You are simply walking your own road. One step, one lesson, one story. That has always been enough. So when you look at yourself tomorrow, do not ask, why am I not like someone else? Smile and ask, am I still learning? If the answer is yes, then you are already moving in the right direction. Can we stay together for one more moment? Today we talked about many things. We talked about children. We talked about flowers. We talked about rivers. We talked about small steps. But maybe every story was saying the same thing. Your journey is enough. Your pace is enough. Your story is enough. Sometimes we forget that. We look around. We look at other people. We forget to look at ourselves. But today, maybe we can choose something different. Maybe we can choose peace. Maybe we can choose gratitude. Maybe we can choose to enjoy learning again. You do not have to become the fastest learner. You do not have to become the best speaker. You do not have to know every word. You only have to keep moving forward. One step, one lesson, one story. That is how every journey becomes something beautiful. Can I tell you something? Someone will always know more than you. Someone will always learn faster than you. And someone else will be looking at you, thinking, I hope I can do that one day. We often forget that. We only look up. We forget that someone else is looking up at us. So never think your small progress has no value. It may become hope for someone else, just as someone else's journey gave hope to you. Keep learning. Keep growing. Keep being yourself. Because there has never been another person exactly like you. And there never will be. That is not something to compare. That is something to be thankful for. Before today's story comes to an end, can I tell you one last thing? I hope you will remember this. Not tomorrow, not only next week, but for a long time. There will always be someone who learns faster. There will always be someone who knows more. There will always be someone who started earlier. That will always be true. But there has never been another person who can live your journey. Only you can do that. Only you can take your next step. Only you can write your next page. And that is enough. Maybe you will learn one new word tomorrow. Maybe you will forget it the next day. Maybe you will learn it again. That is okay. Maybe you will have a wonderful day. Maybe you will have a difficult day. That is okay too. Learning has never been about having perfect days. It has always been about coming back. Again and again. So when you feel slow, be patient. When you feel behind, be kind to yourself. When you feel tired, take a little rest. Then come back. Because every time you come back, you are choosing hope. You are choosing courage. You are choosing to believe that tomorrow can be a little better than today. And one day, without even noticing, you will become the person you hoped to become. Not because you hurried, not because you compared yourself with others, but because you never stopped walking. That is the quiet power of small steps, and that quiet power is already inside you. Trust it, protect it, keep it close to your heart, because your journey matters, your story matters, and you matter. Before we say goodbye, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for learning. And thank you for taking one more step today. Maybe tomorrow you will remember many words. Maybe tomorrow you will remember only a few. That is okay. Maybe tomorrow will feel easy. Maybe tomorrow will feel difficult. That is okay too. Just keep coming back. One story at a time. One lesson at a time. One day at a time. There is no need to hurry. There is no need to compare. There is no need to be anyone else. Just keep becoming the person you are meant to be. I hope today's story stays with you. Not because it was perfect, but because it helped you smile, even if only for a moment. Take good care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Keep learning. Keep listening. Keep smiling. And I'll see you in the next story.